President and General Manager Joe Sakic after the trade deadline yesterday on Mosier, Lombardi, and Kane. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Oh, not bad. How are you guys doing?
We're
Great,
doing
Joe.
good. We're doing really good. Hey, you make some moves that are subtle, but they're effective. That's the way I look at it. And you got guys in this franchise now that you know and guys that can certainly help. Take us through, if you would, please, Joe, each of the moves and why the moves were made for Carl, for Devin Dubnyk, obviously, and then, of course, Patrick Nemeth coming back to this team.
Well, we'll start with Patrick Nemeth. And he was always high on our list to see if we can reacquire. Especially, we knew EJ is going to be out for the rest of maybe the rest of the year, but we're leaving it open for a late run in the playoffs. But we really wanted to get somebody in here with experience, a bigger defending type D, penalty killer guy, shot blocker, heavy in front of the net, to kind of complement Ryan Graves. And obviously we moved Ian Cole early in the year, but that was for cap reasons. And so we were always targeting him. And I've had conversations with Stevie Yzerman for a while on him, and we were able to make that happen. And then Dubnyk, obviously, we knew that Pavel wasn't coming back, and we were looking for a backup. But we also got Jonas Johansson as well, because last year we went 3 goalies deep, and we knew we could get him earlier, and we did that just to kind of start that process, and then trying to get a veteran goalie who's seen it all, who's been there, played in big games, and could really complement Grubauer and give him the rest that he needs. And then Carl, a couple days before the deadline, I talked to Stan about Carl, bringing Carl back, and that ended up working out. We wanted to, add some depth. We have some injuries there. Logan O'Connor, we're not sure when he's going to be back. Same with Matt Calvert. They're both doing rehab, but we just wanted to add center depth, and especially getting a guy like Nemo and Carl. They've both been here, very familiar with us. We love the guys. We believe that you need chemistry, you need character guys, and both of them fit the bill. And I know they were as excited to come here as our guys were to get them. So we feel like we accomplished getting the players we wanted, and then by doing a couple of those deals earlier, we're able to focus on some bigger things that obviously they didn't happen, but we were trying to explore any way we could to improve the team. But we're all in all, we're really happy with what we got and what we thought we needed for depth-wise to make a run at this.
Joe, you're going for it, man, and it's exciting. I mean, it feels like the Pierre era all over again. You're doing this with the panache of Pierre Lacroix, and it's fun to watch because you're making deals happen. Not a lot of people are talking about those deals. Behind the scenes, you're doing it. How important was it to have guys who know your system? Because the skaters you brought in are all guys who played for you.
Well, I think at the deadline it could be tricky. I mean, at the end of the day, only one team wins the cup, and I know a lot of teams you go for it this time and you try and add, but it also comes at a cost. And I think for us is getting guys that are familiar with us. They know the system, coaches know them, so it should be an easy transition. And I think the big thing is the dressing room. You have to have a dressing room that cares for one another and buys into the process, buys into this, team first. You're representing the logo. Logo comes first, and we know both of those guys bring that because we've had them here, and we know Devin Dubnyk is a great team player, a great person, and is going to fit in really well as well. So I think as you go into the playoffs, it's a 2-month grind, and to have people that have the same goal in mind helps big time.
Joe, can you reiterate that? Because when you were a player, obviously you were the captain of this team, and Pierre did deals, as Vic was alluding to. And then Gabe Landeskog said it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago to Kyle and myself. It's not just that you do deals to bring guys in who can help you as hockey players, but they got to be able now to fit what's going on inside that room. And you just touched on it there, the chemistry. But from where you were as a player to what Landeskog said, please indicate to the fans how big that truly is, that you're not subtracting. These guys have to be able to come in as people as well, because that plays a huge important role.
Well, when you bring in people at the deadline, yeah, I mean, if you're bringing in people, it's because you got a really good team and you're trying to improve to get to the next level. But I think the big thing is, yeah, you need great character guys, great people, but role acceptance. And if everybody's coming in and knows their role, I think, and accepts their role, you're in a good position. So, like I said, we know those two really well. We know how excited they are to come, and we know how popular they were in the dressing room. And to have a veteran goalie come in who's as popular with every team he's played for in the dressing room as Devin is, we think it's going to be a great mix in our dressing room. And like I said, if you're going down a stretch and you know you're going to have adversity bumps, you're going to see that in the playoffs. And the stronger your group is, the quicker you'll get out of the quicker you can overcome adversity.
Avs EVP and GM Joe Sakic is our guest right now on Mosier, Lombardi, and Kane. Joe, you talk about the chemistry moves, making sure that a locker room feels cohesive. You were part of a team, obviously, in 2001 that won a Stanley Cup and had a big fish come in with Rob Blake coming in from the Los Angeles Kings and Adam Deadmarsh being shipped out. Were there any big fish that you guys were looking at the trade deadline, or were they typically all pushed toward this depth-filling role?
No, we were active on trying to improve our club on a couple different players or a few. But we've done our homework. We anybody that we were thinking about trying to acquire, we knew the type of people they were. So whatever we were trying to do, we were trying to get good people with our mix. And some things didn't pan out, but that's fine because we accomplished what we really set out to do.
Do you get a temperature in the room? I mean, for example, Dubnyk, you got into that fracas with Landy a few years back. You go up to Landy and say, "Hey, man, can we take it easy with the punches being thrown now, or what? Are we good?" Do you talk to the guys?
It's like bringing Chris Draper in.
Anymore.
That's true. Yeah, right. That's true.
It's okay. We just play games. I think that just goes to show the type of competitor Devin is, and we know what game's all about. So what happens hockey's a different game. After every game, doesn't matter what happened on the ice, those guys can go out and have a beer together and forget about it. So hockey players have a tendency to leave everything on the ice, and then when it's over, it's over.
You know, Joe,
one quick one for me, and I'm done, Joe, because I don't know if you heard about it last night. Your neighbors there, your co-tenants at Ball Arena, they played a game of Golden State, and they lost Jamal Murray, and we hope it's nothing too serious. We hope. If it is, then it could be one of those injuries that changes the course of a season. I always go back to the year you guys won your second cup, and you're in the middle of a playoff run, and Peter Forsberg goes out with just a freak non-hockey related injury. You lose him for the rest of the way. And a lot of Avs fans were thinking at that point, well, there goes that cup run. And yet you guys persevered. You guys put it together. You guys won the next two series. You hoisted a cup. How? How did you do that without one of your best players?
Well, I think that's what having a great team chemistry, to care for one another, does. I think it gives obviously some guys have a bigger role. Other guys, get more opportunity to show what they can do. And as long as you find a way and not making excuses and stick together, I think good things can happen. I saw what happened. I saw the injury. That's unfortunate. We hope for the best for Jamal and a speedy recovery. But the Nuggets, they got a deep team. That's a good basketball team. So we expect them, along with us, hopefully in the Ball Arena and playing on alternate nights and trying to go for it together. But we expect that's a tough loss, but they still got a lot of good players, and some guys are going to get bigger roles, and hopefully they can keep it together and make their run.
Yeah, I love that positivity, Joe. Last one for me too before we let you go. Once your window opens as a hockey club, I a couple of years ago, tough loss to the Sharks in a Game 7. Last year in the crazy bubble, tough loss to Dallas in a Game 7. But your window is open. What changes for you And as a player, I'm sure you know the window, but as a GM, your window opens and you've got to make moves, or you think maybe you do, but you've got to maneuver things and so on. What changes for you as an executive in this type of situation with a club that you know you've built finally?
Well, I just think when you have a club that's playing this well, and you feel that it's time to go for it, and really put some assets in to try and put this team over the top. I just believe that this is the time that we have to do that. And then we look at next year. I mean, with a flat cap, you kind of thought you were waiting. You knew there was going to come a time where some big contracts were going to kick in. But last couple of years, everybody's expecting the cap to go up and up and up, and now it's a flat cap. So we just looked at this year in particular as, we got some big contracts coming up here, important pieces, and not sure that we're going to be able to field the team as deep as this. So we thought, we got to go for it this year, and reward this team by giving them every opportunity to win together.
Raj and Moj, you don't lay up on a par 5. This man goes for it. It's the same mentality, right, Joe? It's a par 5. You get there in 2, damn it.
Well,
Joe, yeah, but Joe, sometimes it's
I should probably play safe on the golf course, but yeah, no, I think that, and there's a number. We're not the only team. I mean, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that all feel that they have a good chance to win the Stanley Cup, and it's going to be a fun race. See where it goes, but we want to do everything we could to give this group the best shot to go for it and try and raise it, bring the Stanley Cup back to Denver.
Well, it feels like you carried it 280 over the water on your second shot with a hell of a 3-wood. That's what it feels like now with your club. So, on that note, we will let you go. What's that?
The Tin Cup.
Yeah, exactly. No, not in the water, baby. You carried that creek. But
you landed it on the green first. It just came back.
Good point. Good point. Got down to
we won a nail. Yeah.
Last
but like I said, it's love our team, and the guys believe in each other and believe that we have a great shot, and hopefully we can just go there and keep the momentum and stay injury free and get some good bounces, because you need all that to happen to win a cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn it over to Jared and the leaders on that club and let it go. Joe, great to talk to you as always. We enjoyed what you did at the deadline. We like those guys too, and look forward to seeing those guys pan out as we hit the final month of the regular season into the postseason. Thanks for your time, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, Joe. Fun to watch, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Hey, Moj, what are the chances of you turning down your Nest notification so we can get through an interview or segment without that going off?
0.
We know it was the dog outside.
I mean,
it's not like there's an intruder at your house. The dog's just going for a pee.
One day to have a show where we don't hear your Nest thing go off. Just once. One day.
Dogs got a whiz.
But just give me one day where that thing doesn't go off.
Well, listen. You get a dog.
Moj, do you talk on your speakerphone in public?
And they're little, and then but then dogs got a whiz. And if a dog's got a whiz, dog's got a whiz. Better him go outside than me throwing.
Did you see how pumped Joe sounded, though? Did you see how pumped he sounded?
Love it. He's knows it feels like 20 years ago, man, and he knows it.
Raj,
knows it.
You're 100% correct. And he parried. He put it this way. A lot of teams have gone for it. Toronto went for it. Teams in the East, man, they're all trying to just to stack up if the best they could. But he knows what he's got in his hockey club, and he knows what he's got with the top line right now, where every guy in the top line is battling for the leading scorer since March 1st. I mean, these guys are red hot. So I know we'll talk more about it as we continue on here, but he did those moves. I love Big old Carl back in. All right. Your point is made.
Get your damn act together.
Martin?
Just going to start playing with my phone.
Go to break. The point has been made.